to help you do that. Um, he's worked with us for over 10 years now, over a decade. He vibes very well with players. I have used him personally to help me through some crazy times in my life. He's a good man. He's a good friend, a good family man, great dad, and he's here to kind of sow into your lives between now and until he's dead someday. Um, but we've had guys that have had very unfortunate circumstances throughout the years, and they just felt like they had nobody to turn to. And once you guys decide that you become part of our family, regardless of whether you're playing football or not, your circle is tight. Okay, and Dr. Price is a professional at what he does. He has a full-time practice in Georgia, um, and has a great family, and he's here to give you guys to be another piece or play another role, be another cog in the wheel for you guys from a support standpoint to give you um, really the tools to develop the mental fortitude to get through this long interviewing process. That makes sense. Robert, how did I do?
Fantastic, Kevin. So just so that these young folks know too, 10 years, it's been a minute. Joe Flacco, I think, I don't even remember. It's been a long time. So, but my role, like Kevin said, is now that you are part of this family, that means that you have access to what I offer, what I do moving forward. So as so much to even just share just very quickly, obviously everybody knows what happened on Monday night. And so I have players that I worked with in the past. We have a player from Test, a couple of Test players on that team that have already reached out. We've already chatted, we've talked just as a support for them. So and same on the vice on the Bengals as well. But just so that you all know that there's opportunities moving forward, there will be connections made, I am sure, with you when I meet you in person, and then just as you go through this process. And Kevin mentioned that this is an interview process, and sometimes we get lost in the fact that we think that a formal interview is when we sit down with somebody one-on-one, shake their hand, and they begin talking to us and we begin talking to them. But I want you all to know that this whole process is one big interview, or a series of mini interviews, however you want to look at that. And so I've already chatted with somebody that's sitting there. I see them there, about opportunities. And so those become like mini interview opportunities, as many of those as you can get in front of people, to get people to double check, to take a look at what you're currently doing, is huge. So we're getting ready to pop in Jersey too, by the way. But then I'll keep rocking. Good morning, Jersey. I know y'all coming online. So working on your volume. Again, I'm looking at Jersey. While Jersey's getting themselves together, I'm muting them. So just so you guys recognize, I do plan on being with you all next Wednesday. We'll sit down with everybody and kind of chat, get to know me, get to know the process. For right now, what you all should have been able to at least get ready to get started with are the assessment. There's some questionnaires and things of that sort as well on the classroom. I have been traveling. Actually, I took time off. As Kevin mentioned, I have 4 kids. I have a young lady, my 16-year-old daughter, who's a golfer. So she's in the recruiting process. So we went to go see a couple of schools, meet some coaches. You all know that process. You've done that. So as a parent, I'm on that side now. And so we took some time off and got that accomplished, all the way to Texas and back, in about a week's time. So it's been a little bit of a whirlwind. So Jersey's coming in, making it happen. I got you. I'm also recording this too, so that they'll have it too. So what I love to see is people with notebooks. Okay, notes, really able to write something down, to be able to get something going. Because what I'm going to share with you guys a little bit today really is just kind of what my process looks like, the things that I will be able to help you with. A little bit, Kevin shared a little bit about myself, but what I do know is this, is that you guys all want a job and there's only but so many teams that have so many spots and so many places. And there are other opportunities out there, whether we're looking at the Canadian League, Canadian football, we're looking at USFL or different opportunities now. But everybody in here, I know their dream is to be on an NFL roster and playing when playing next season. And so with that being said, this is very competitive. And so I will share with you some things along the way that will do nothing but set you apart or set you up for ultimate success. And so there are many things that you'll need to take a note for or write something down. And so literally, I'm going to just share this with you already so that you have this information. I'm gonna say my phone number. Oh no. But you'll have that, and then you'll get ready. We share it along with each other, whoever can catch it. But there'll be opportunities for you to text me independently or individually as well. So I'm going to get started. So it's 240-899-2006. 240-899-2006. Okay. Cool. Everybody should have that somewhere. Okay. So I'm going to actually I'll dive into that because I want to just so that you guys this right away. So from now until as you're trying to gather this job or get this job, you all have, or maybe not everybody yet, but has an agent, and their job is to help communicate and talk and share who you are with people. But you two are the person who is most responsible for yourself at this moment. Not your agent, not your parents, it's you. And so what that means is that when you speak to somebody on the phone, whether it's a scout, a regional scout, a coach, you need to 100% get their name, make sure that you have their phone number, make sure that you have their, I guess we could go there, their Instagram, their Twitter, their social, whatever that is. But you also need to be able to communicate with them. And what I mean by that is following up. If you speak to somebody, then you need to reach back out to them and just say, thank you for taking the time to speak with me. Is there anything else that you would need? Or please let me know, something. There needs to be a follow-up. So as Kevin generously mentioned, I worked for the Giants for a long time. I've done some actual work for the Bears as well, way back in the beginning. But one of the things that general managers, coaches, presidents of teams, these people, you're courting them. You're trying to get a date with them. I mean, I want you to really think about it like that. And so if you follow up, you do those small things, again, sets you apart or set aside from other folks. And so don't think of it as if you're doing something wrong. No, you're actually doing something right. And I hear it all the time. I've heard it since I've been in this business for a long time, is that those are the players, again, that catch an extra look, an extra eye, an extra opportunity. And so, with please make sure that you all are doing that. As a suggestion, because I'm terrible at this, by the way, but make sure that your mailbox on your cell phone is not full. So I would go on there, fix that up. Make sure you have a professional message, yo, what's up? This Rob, man, hit me when come on, we got to do a little bit better because y'all are a college student. Some of you hopefully have graduated. You are looking for a job. And so that's not how we want to, people to Okay. I mean, it's cool when you're with your peoples, but we've grown up now is what I want to share with you. You stepped up. And so in order to continue to step up, you can change your message later. But for right now, people are calling. You don't really know who's calling or what they're calling for, but I would definitely look at your message, your voicemail message, because it's just the first introduction sometimes to who you are to the people who are calling or trying to connect with you. And so try to just make sure that it's as professional, if you will, as you can. Hey, this is Robert Price. Sorry, I can't be with you now. Leave a number or text me at so-and-so. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But, I mean, something real simple. I'm not talking about playing the music and the interludes and all of those things. I'm just trying to help you all understand, like, these are real small things that catch the eyes of the people that you're looking to catch the eyes of, because it's super important that you, again, get a second look, a third look, a phone call, a return call. This is just the opportunity. You have to remember who's calling and who they are and what role or what part of life they're in. So to be honest with you, that's super, super, super important. Just a little thing that you can do between now and like 15, 20 minutes from now. Simple. Change that up. Make sure it's tight. I'm sure if you're working with people, looking through your Instagram, looking through your Twitter, making sure that those things are representative of who you are, because again, people are using those things to gather information about yourself. So those are some quick things. Again, let me just give you a real big, not a lot of people get an opportunity to work with a sports psychologist or a mental skills coach or somebody that actually works on the mental side of their sport with them. So again, I'm just going to share with you just a big picture of what this looks like. So every one of you all will have an opportunity to showcase your skills, whether it's at a pro day, whether it's at the combine, whether it's at an all-star game. There's opportunities along the way, along this process, to showcase your skills. My job is to make sure that you're as mentally prepared to showcase your skills at the highest level in those moments. And so I talk a lot about what greatness looks like. Greatness is something that you have to be able to accomplish consistently. It's not a one-time thing or two-time thing. It's something that when you step into the room, that you are consistently good, essentially becoming great at what you do. And so ultimately my job is to help you do that. And so I have a lot of different roles within Test. I've done this for a long time, but ultimately my job is to help you lift more weights, be faster, but be sharper as people, that is presenting yourselves to the teams and these, people, these employers that you're looking to get a job from. And so with that being said, I'm going to share with you one major concept that's going to just kind of bleed throughout our time together. And so it's very simple. The things that you think drive the way that you feel and what you do. Okay, so the things you think drive the way you feel and what you do. The things you think drive the way you feel and what you do. A lot of times in the circumstances, we all have situations. We all have certain events that are happening. Right now, we're in different locations at different times doing what we do. But the reality of that is understanding this is that the event is the same for all of us. It's our interpretation, it's our thoughts about the event will drive what we feel and what we do in life, period, but definitely in sport. So if you get on to the 40 line and you have interpretations or thoughts that are not as effective as they need to be, they're going to impact how you feel and what you do. It's just what it will happen. My job is to teach you about how you think, so that way you're not thinking about it, but you have some really good senses and understandings and some techniques to kind of really, really help you that you probably never heard of before. So that way you can perform and be consistently great at what you do. My job is to help you run faster. My job is to help you lift more weights. My job is to help lean you out. All of those things are super important. And you'll see a lot of integration between all of the areas, because at the end of the day, it's super, super, that's what we do. That's why this approach that you all chose is tested, it's proven, it's integrated, it's a family feeling. What we do or what I know that might help you mentally, specifically, or even emotionally, it can help you in other areas while you're at test doing what you're doing. So that's super important. So the things you think drive how you feel and what you do. It's not the event. It's not, well, this happened to me, and so I behave or I do or I think this way. No, it's your interpretations of these events actually drive what you feel and what you do. No matter what position you've played, no matter all those things, that's how it works. And so ultimately, at the end of the day, if we're able to recognize that, have an awareness of that, an awareness of how we're thinking, then we can actually make really good decisions. And we know that football is a reactionary sport. I played this game, I played it in college. But I also recognize that the way that you have the best reaction is by having the best preparation. So if you're not prepared, then you can't, quote unquote, react appropriately. You can't allow your athleticism to do what your athleticism has been able to do. And so the guy that has a plan can execute that plan, and it looks as if they're just reacting. But in reality, they actually are reacting to a plan that they know, because they have this up here going on. So in order for you all to continue to make the strides that you're looking to make, we'll make sure that we start tightening up in those areas. Is everybody tracking? Okay, cool. So just for the New Jersey fellas, I'm still trying to figure out my schedule to come to you guys in person. But it'll all work out. So I'll get there, and I'll be in Florida next Wednesday, I believe it is. And so we'll sit down, we'll chat, we'll do some things. But as I mentioned to the Florida folks, there's some paperwork, some assessments, some things that need to be done. They're in the classroom, I believe. If not, I'll double check. But I'm leaning on Vance and Gare to make sure that those things are in there. But I'll go in there and double check, make sure that stuff's in there for you guys to complete and fill out prior to me coming. So that way I can just do what I need to do with you all. So you all have my cell phone. If there's a question that you have that you want to ask, and please ask it. The one place or piece, I'm just going to share this with you, not because we're formally patient client, but what I will share with you is this, is that whatever you do share with me is confidential. And I'm going to do one of these things. It's confidential. It's if you are okay with me sharing, I will share it with the team, i.e. the family team, like Gare, Kevin, Vance, the team, so that way, if it's necessary, if it's something that we can do, work out together, then we'll do that. But if there's obviously something personal that you're sharing directly with me, then I'm going to hold on to my patient confidentiality. It's just between you and I. I won't talk to it with a scout or coach or general manager, any of those things. What I will share with you is that if you kind of look around the league and kind of start seeing where guys from test go, I still talk to people. They ask me about players, about people. And so it will be nothing. If I know you, it'll be positive. If I know that you can fit, then I'll let them know that. But the things, if you will, if they're personal things that you're sharing, family stuff or your own personal things that you may have going on, they stay with me unless you want me to share them with somebody else that you believe you trust within test or even your agent. But all that information stays here, just so you know, because I just want to hold that as part of my job, as who I am in person. I just kind of hold on to that information. So just with that being said, I will see everybody again very soon. And when we meet this way, just so you all know, like say for example, you had to go somewhere, you missed one of these will be recorded and placed in the classroom stream. And I'll make sure that I have like a sports psych or a mental conditioning classroom or something, whatever that looks like. I am old, so this stuff is all still new to me. But we'll make sure that we get it all rocking. Anybody have any immediate questions or just thoughts you wanted to throw out and ask, I'll be more than willing to answer those questions for you at this time.
I had one question.
Sure, give it up.
Will we like clearly know beforehand, like what we discuss, whether it's going to be something you keep or something you feel like you're sharing? Like, will you ask us before? Or
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty good at knowing. I pretty much think about it like this: everything you share, I'm gonna keep. Until you say, "Man, you should share that," or can you help me? Communicate that with the people within the building is what I say. So nothing really is going to leave unless you want it to leave. If that makes sense to you, does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, you're welcome. I operate on whatever you share with me. I'm keeping until otherwise, right? It's easier that way. Like here. Oh, I'll give you a perfect. I don't know if you were on. So literally this morning, I was speaking with a couple of players, actually test guys on the Bills about their circumstance and situation, right? So we were just chatting it up. I mentioned that I'm gonna meet with you guys today. They were like, "Well, share. You can share that." Like, literally, that's what they said because they kind of know. They know the rules, if you will. So like, yeah, just share it. I mean, I'm good. But there's people that use my services in different ways, but we're just still family. We're just trying to talk through, figure out what we can do, just to manage our emotions really around certain circumstances that you guys play a game that, as you all saw, can end in a moment. So we want to make sure that we're able to manage those emotions, manage those feelings, and do what we can. That's also part of my role. I used to work for the NFL PA, and as a therapist, actually been in communication with them and DeMorris this past week. So I'll probably end up kind of floating down to Jacksonville a little bit in a moment, but those are just some places and spaces that I work in and get to do this work for. So it's pretty cool. That's a good question. Any others?
So I feel like this piece of the program is one that separates us. You could be as big a physical freak athletically, but if you can't control how you react, if you let your emotions get the best of you, I can say that in my life, any bad decisions that I've ever made were always surrounded by a high level of emotion, right? Like reacting because you're emotionally charged, and it doesn't take as much to get you to that threshold the younger you are. Because things still impact you. Words still impact you. And I'm not saying that, but at some point, you got to be able to understand that the only thing you can control is the way that you react. You can't control what happens. Right? There are some things that just happen that, are good things. Sometimes they're bad things. Sometimes bad things happen to good people. And how you react to those situations is the only thing that you have control over. So if you're going to be seen on your team as the leader, are you the guy are you going to be the cornerstone of your team? Like that's the kind of role that, as an employer, you want those kind of guys in your mind. The ones that are emotionally stable, the ones that are going to be a good team. It just makes for a better team atmosphere when you've got a locker room that's at peace with each other, right? So, again, like I know this is not a very popular piece of a program like this, but you guys are, like I said, like we're not gonna. There's no stone that we're not gonna look under to help you guys. And I think this is a bigger piece than most people realize. Mental
Yeah, I
health
mean,
is such
yeah.
a big part of all of this. And people that are
That's
usually high performers are the ones that go through a lot too. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Kevin. What I was going to share too is, I mean, as you all can see and know, like just as our, I mean, the crazy thing about even Monday so brilliantly or so clear in our minds is that because of the mental health of the coaches and the team, they're able to stand up, if you will, to the NFL and in essence to say we're just not going to go back out there because this is an area that has improved quite a bit in my time in this field on both sides. So, but just for you guys as individuals, I mean, the sharper that you can become, the more emotionally tight that we can become and manage the things that we know that are out there for us. Man, you guys will. Again, it's what we have seen over the years. Really, you guys are trusting our experiences. Is that when people are able to dive into this particular area too? That again, as Kevin mentioned, it's not really popular. I get it. We're all men in this room, if you will, so we understand that. But we all use these services and do these things to make sure that we are as sharp as we can be. And so, whatever it is that you all need on that side, I'll make sure that I can provide it. And also just on the mental performance side, just trying to get you guys to be as sharp mentally for your performances as best as you can, so that you can just continue to peak. I mean, that's going to be what's going to be super important for you all as you kind of walk through some of this stuff. Cool. Jersey, you good down there? Big boys. That's what's up. All right. Any other questions? My tight end friend, you don't have no questions? Straight. We'll get together too. We will. We'll chat. Appreciate that. Okay. Cool. Kevin,
Yep.
you good?
We're good. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Hey
it.
man, why you so swole, man?
Slow. What are you talking?
Swole. Look
Swole.
how she's swole. Look.
Sleeveless.
Oh, it's the sleeve.
That's part of the uniform.
Okay, get swole. All right. Cool. Hey, what's up down there, Jers?
That guy needs a sleeveless.
He does.
All right, guys.
All
Appreciate
right, man. You're welcome. Happy New Year.
Thanks, Robert.
All right, see y'all soon.